This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Rabbi Leff, thank you very much for coming on to the Judaism Without Apologizing podcast. It's an honor to have you.
It's my honor to be here.
Can you give us the 1-minute version of the Rav's story a little?
Yeah, I was born in the Bronx, and I learned in Telzer Yeshiva, and got smicha there, and my Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Gifter, sent me back to Miami to be the Rav in the Young Israel there.
What exactly is the spiritual goal we're trying to achieve on Chanukah?
I think that the message of Chanukah is that there doesn't have to be a conflict between the physical, material parts of this world and the spiritual parts.
Does the Rav feel as though it became an explosion of Gashmi? It's a celebration essentially of food and parties and presents where it really should be flocking and flooding the shoals in Batei Midrashim.
But I think that even though it's been taken perhaps to a distorted extreme with presents and the Gashmias, but there's a place for the Gashmias too.
Jews nowadays sometimes can be celebrating Chanukah and at the same time have an utter fascination with Westernism and Americanism and politics and celebrities and news and sports. How are those two things mutually exclusive, or are they as big of a contradiction as one can get?
Yeah, they're pretty much a big contradiction, and a lot of it by people who are not necessarily really Shomrei Torah mitzvahs is the influence of the non-Jewish holidays. That if the Chashmonoim, Antiochus would come back today, he'd be very happy that he's been very successful from the way Chanukah is celebrated. Because it's celebrated as the Greeks would celebrate it, not as the Jews celebrate it.
Now, there's another element to Chanukah which I think a lot of people don't harp on because it's a little bit politically incorrect. Is there a modern day Misyavnim that should be addressed and we aren't, or we're not strong enough, we don't call them out enough? No, it's politically incorrect to call out Misyavnim, but isn't that the whole point? That these people, the Chashmonaim, called out Misyavnim. Should we be doing a better job, or that's not the fight we fight today?
There's two ways of serving the Rabbanu Shalom. Even people who are frum, forget about the progressives and the left. There's one way of keeping it very external. It's a bunch of do's and don'ts, right? But their way of life and their values and standards are basically secular. Don't have 613 mitzvahs. They have 613 problems.
Should more people be making aliyah? Is it a mitzvah deraisa? Is it something that way more people should be doing, or it is pretty good the way it is?
Like every mitzvah, it's a mitzvah to fast on Yom Kippur. But if you're sick, it's a mitzvah not to fast on Yom Kippur. The same thing goes with Eretz Yisrael, and there are parameters.
Does the Rav think that Eretz Yisrael does a good enough job in making it conducive for foreigners or English speakers to build their own schools?
What you just described was 100% the way it was. You go do it our way, and we're not interested in accommodating anybody else's way, whatever.
To what degree should Americans be invested emotionally in what's happening in Eretz Yisrael? Because it's often hard to navigate between what's nice ba'ol and being emotionally connected, and then just consuming an avalanche of political circus and rabbanim screaming, and you're not sure what's going on. But some people ignore it completely, and some people consume it entirely and are obsessed with it. So what is the balance?
They should know that because they don't live there, what they hear news-wise is probably distorted. And therefore, not only is it useless to get involved too much and obsessed with it, it's distorted.
Does the Rav feel that Eretz Yisrael for a lot of people is slowly becoming a frum Disneyland where it's just about going and trying different restaurants and buying a souvenir here and a painting there and meeting your kids in seminary here, and the whole Kedusha aspect is essentially sucked out, and even the Kaisel is just a tourist spot to get a picture? Is that a problem?
But if you're going because it's another place to go, like you said, instead of going to Disneyland, to go to this Disneyland, then it may be a problem.
If we would take all the taxi drivers, all the shawarma stands, even all the chassidim and the shtiblach, and put it in the middle of Sudan, people would love going there also. And it has nothing to do with the Kedushas Eretz Yisrael.
I would say that somebody who goes to visit Eretz Yisrael should at least a portion of the time have some kind of tour of a place where the people who are giving them the tour will let them know there's something special about these places, Kedusha-wise.
There's a story with the Rav at a soccer match. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
So we were in Scotland visiting, and happened to be that the Israeli soccer team came to Scotland for a match between Scotland and Israel. And the whole Kehillah went with the Rav. Identifying with something Jewish for these people was very, very, very important. So I saw that it was really bothering them. So I told them, look, we'll make it easy for you. I can learn here, I can learn there. It'll make a difference. So I'll go with you, and I'll learn there. I went. I was really not interested in soccer. Had it been a baseball game, it may be different. And I went, and I was learning there. And my son-in-law ran over to me. He said, you were just on Scottish TV. What in the world am I doing at a soccer game? So the message is, right, you have to sometimes do things that are not part of your comfort zone for the sake of your children and grandchildren.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.